unfair when there's love everywhere and yet there's none for you. Some guys have all the love. Some guys have all the pain. Some guys have no sunshine in their life. My life is only filled with rain. Oh, someone to take on a walk by the lake. Dear Lord, let her be. Someone who's shy, someone who's liable to cry at sad movies. Ooh, I do believe I would die just to look in her eyes and find them filled with me. But she's just a dream and it's real as it seems.
Some guys like this don't have all the love, and that's music from the Persuaders. Music titled Some Guys Have All the Love. Well, this is Love in the Morning. It's on Love 99.5. And time check is some 20 minutes to hit 8 o'clock. Now, for those of you who joined us yesterday, I'm sure that you're listening to a conversation on a fire outbreak that occurred on Friday, which saw some youth of Alonga, that Alonga Junction area, try to, prevent the fire service from doing their job by putting off the fire. And yesterday we made mention of the fact that anytime somebody decides to prevent a public officer from doing his job, it is criminal. So have that at the back of your mind. It is criminal to prevent any public officer from doing his job. So for those of you who, are at Aulanga and did what you did on Friday, it is criminal. You could be arrested. So on the show yesterday, we spoke to the MC for the area, Honorable Abraham Kwame Ainchi. And among other conversations, we tried to ascertain from him whether, he has reached out to the people of the area, the people who are victims of the fire. And he said to us that, unfortunately, Reginald Nadmo doesn't have anything in stock. And, he also made us aware that even when it comes to the District Assembly Common Fund, the fund has not been disbursed after the first quarter. So first quarter, that is January, February, March, they had the first disbursement for this year. But up from that time till now, no monies has hit the common fund. So they themselves are finding it difficult to help the victims of the fire. And what he even went on to say was that he was trying to see if he could get some second-hand clothing and other items on credit so he could go, give it to the victims of the fire that took place on Friday. Well, interestingly, we invited an MC to join us on the show so we could expatiate on the conversation, try to understand and appreciate how come the common fund is not hitting their accounts and how they are managing the various municipalities under the circumstances. But unfortunately, the MC will not be able to join us. That's all I can say about that for now. So that's one of the conversations we intend to have this morning, and your thoughts and your views are very much welcome. If you're listening to us and you're an MC and you want to tell us how that is making your work, how it's affecting your job or your role as the municipal chief executive, share your views with us. I mean, the common fund not hitting your accounts, how are you able to run the day-to-day affairs of your municipality? Our WhatsApp number is available for you. It's 055-1111-995. Now, aside from that, you can also join us on Facebook with your thoughts if you're an MC to share your concerns with us. But aside from that, listen, you're a Ghanaian, you're a citizen, you pay your taxes, and you ought to be able to benefit locally from the local governance. Now, I'm talking about paying taxes here because per Article 252 of the 1992 Constitution, it mandates the central government to disburse money for the district assemblies, to run. So let me just read something for you. It says, Article 252 provides that a minimum of 5% of Ghana's total revenue be paid into the common fund for distribution to district assemblies, mainly to undertake development projects and some specific programs, and the amount is payable into the fund on a quarterly basis. All right, it should be paid on a quarterly basis, and that is according to Article 252 of the Ghana's Constitution. So if it is supposed to be paid quarterly, how come only quarter one has been paid? The law says paid quarterly. What is preventing government from paying this amount into the funds quarterly? Because without the funds, how do you expect the assembly to work, to operate, to function? And what I know of is that we pay our taxes. The Ghana Revenue Authority at the beginning of every year are given targets. But by the end of the year, they let us understand that they have achieved their target and even gone beyond achieving the targets. So if the Ghana Revenue Authority are achieving their targets and even go beyond achieving the targets, why can't this mandate, as the Constitution stipulates, be met? It says do it quarterly, 5% of all revenue generated. So why is government not doing this? Interestingly, this is not the very first time this is happening. It happened in 2019. Even 2021, the minority in parliament, they wanted to sue government on this as to why the District Assembly Common Fund was not being paid. I don't get it. Let me tell you another thing. Now, if you're wondering why I'm concerned about this, yesterday the conversation was centered on a fire outbreak where people, over 30 rooms were told, got burnt. Now, if the District Assembly Common Fund is made available, these are some of the things it could be used for. For example, when it comes to commercial ventures, it is used for energy, for markets, for agriculture, for services and roads. I'll come back to the roads a bit shortly. It's also supposed to help social services like education, health, water, sports, recreation, self-help projects, educational activities, and so much more. Even when it comes to the environmental considerations, it is supposed to be used for sanitation and disaster management. Disaster management. So if the District Common Fund, Assembly's Common Fund, was paid as mandated by the Constitution quarterly, I'm sure that the MCE for the area would have had money in his coffers, in their accounts, in the fund, so that people who unfortunately got their, stuff bent could have been given some kind of relief support or items. But the money is not going. So when it comes to disaster management, they are limbo. I talked about sanitation. I talked about environmental, considerations, plus many other things, water and all that. The roads that I mentioned, I said I was going to come back to on the roads. Let me just tell you something about the roads. And Leo is still with me in the studios. Leo, good morning once again. Eugene is also right here. Eugene, are you aware that even when it comes to the internally generated funds by the various assemblies, hitherto they used to collect the monies themselves. And then somewhere in March this year, a law came that, the money should be collected by the GRA. So the GRA is collecting the money. That is, for example, property rate. GRA is collecting the money. And that money, when the GRA takes, is going to go into the consolidated fund. So I ask myself, according to the law, so when GRA takes the money, GRA is supposed to give 70% to the assemblies and keep 30% for government, to use. The 70%, is it going or it's not going? Where I live is a new suburb. So I pay my property rate because I'm hoping that if my roads are poor, the municipality will be able to get a grader, buy diesel, and then grade it to make it more trouble for me. That is why I'll pay my property rate. That's why I'll pay my other taxes. But if government takes all these monies and doesn't give it to the local assembly, how do we expect the local assemblies to run?
That's the law, and that's the convention around it. Even with street light levies, you notice that lies under the local government. But the money doesn't go through the local government. It goes through ECG. ECG puts it through the consolidated fund. They need to be disbursement. That's where the issues come. And the consolidated fund is just like your salary account. Lots of competing needs. So if you need focus attention, you create special purpose vehicles or special account or standing orders for those monies to be disbursed into those accounts. We don't do that. We always just consolidate it at a certain in the consolidated fund. Yeah, that's the right thing. Then the disbursements were the issue, just like the District Assembly Common Fund, because I cannot fathom how we expect MMDCs to run 7 months without common fund. Because the last time they received, per what the MC for Ferricrum said, was the first quarter. And the first quarter, January, February, March. So meaning April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 7 months. They are not without common fund. And we all know that the IGFs also, some aspect of it go through, as we said, go through the various processes for it to go to the consolidator before it comes back to them. So what you are telling them to do is that they need to not do what they have to do, because for a fire incident to happen, and for the MCE at Aronga Junction, for the MCE to say that we don't even have buckets, like there's nothing in there, and I don't account for them, that is chilling. So it means that whatever that you are doing, please think twice, because if something happens to you, the state of Ghana, whom you pay taxes to, cannot come to your aid.
Is it possible some of them will receive their common fund while others won't?
No, so what happens is that there may be the possibility other district may. It happens. Ghana, it's possible. But for Furukrom constituency, the MC says the last time he received the sorry was the first quarter. And I'm saying that this is not even the first time this is an area. So this is not news. But it is bad. It's just like how we pay the NHIS premiums and all that. Sometimes you need 2023. Then premiums, the last time they paid was in 2022. We don't run like that. There must always be.
It must be current.
It must be current.
No, but the law says every quarter, pay the money to the fund. Every quarter. And so what is preventing you from paying it into the funds? Because we are paying our taxes, they are generating the revenue, and that's why I made mention about the fact that the Ghana Revenue Authority will tell us that they've met their targets and even gone beyond meeting the targets. So if the money is there, per the law, give 5%, disburse 5%. On the local level, and also
yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That so is the acceleration of it, because when you talk about decentralization, the most important point of decentralization are what the MMCs, their various jurisdictions. How many times did the president come to Kuti? He doesn't live there. How many times did the president come to Emina? He doesn't live there. Unless Astro Telfubi, they don't even spend 40 minutes. We're just you. That's it. But the assembly members, the committee members, the presiding members, and the MCEs, they are the ones who live there. They live with us in the community, and they will be able to champion meaningful development. Because, for example, if I live in Ofurukrom constituency, right, and you've done Swami interchange, I may not feel it much, because most people live and work within their various geography. I may not feel it much, but if that bridge maybe linking, I'm just saying, maybe that bridge linking, let's say Mena to Buedi, is fixed. That small bridge, that is all I need. So I don't need a $125 million interchange. All that I need is maybe a 10,000 bridge being fixed.
What he said, he's not saying that it's not needed though. That interchange as well is equally needed, but he may not directly benefit from it.
Exactly,
because he does not reside in that community.
Exactly,
where he lives, he has an assembly man. Where he lives, he has a municipal chief executive. What he requires of the MCE for the area is to ensure that electricity or street lights is working or functioning, to ensure that his roads are motorable.
And they should have a better understanding of what the people need.
If a disaster should occur, you fall on the common fund to do some of these things. Yeah. Listen, go to Kote. There are some of the schools there at Kote that are in deplorable state. So if the common fund is available, maybe you can do something with this. I remember when we spoke to Kwame Tree somewhere last year or two. He talked about some of the buildings, around getting to this area. Eija area. That he used some of the common fund to do some renovation works. And it's getting no pretty.
You see, David. The challenge of our system is, that's what I'm saying. I'm very familiar with the street lighting, because I've had some engagements with Collins Intip, the former deputy, a local government minister. So, for example, you know that when you buy electricity, you live in Ofurukrom, the money is collected by ECG, which is an agency under the Ministry of Energy. So the money at the end of the day goes through the coffers of the Ministry of Energy, tunneled through the consolidated fund. Then the disbursements are done. Now the point is that how is even the disbursement done? David, you get my point? Because and even the common fund is not shared equally. That's what you must know. There's a certain formula that you use to share the common fund. But the point I'm making is that what we are doing is crippling decentralization, is crippling local government, is crippling development at the very grassroots, where people have a certain direct interface. So
let me ask you to do brief. Read this for me. It's from a minority MP Podo, 2019 to 2021. The District Assembly Common Fund was not going. So just read it for me.
So they said that the debt.
No, that one. Read from here. You just read from here.
It says that the District Assembly Common Fund simply not working today, have been rendered impotent. The monies due to the fund have not been given to enable. Are not been given to the fund to enable carry out its mandate as abundantly outlined by the Constitutional Relevance Act. Mr. Podo said that the government had persistently done everything possible to deprive the District Assembly Common Fund of the needed funds to to discharge his constitutionally mandated duties. Among other things, he said amount due to the District Assembly Common Fund were underprovided and for still owed 2017-2018. What I know
so that was even the past.
Yes.
So the same thing, then later when they raised concern, it was paid. Now we have 2023, first quarter penny.
It was no different under the NDC.
But why did we vote out the NDC?
No, David, I'm coming. The point I'm making, that's not the problem. The point I'm making is that it is not the non-payment of District Assembly Common Fund on time. It's not a problem of the NPP government. The non-payment of premiums for NHS is not the problem of the NPP. It's a problem of governments of Ghana. And it's a problem of government of Ghana because we don't see development in its true sense. For example, the last time Kwame Entry came, he told us this bus stops that they are doing. The contract was signed by the District Assembly Common Fund Administrator Natoshi in Accra. Now I'm saying that all developments are not equal, so I don't even want to bring in the NPP and DC angles. All developments and all municipalities are not equal. Why should bus stops being done at Children's Park in Subing? Why should that contract be signed by the District Assembly Common Fund Administrator in Accra, who has even come to Subing to do a forensic or a proper feasibility studies of the needs of the people? You get the point I'm making. Plan Ghana, for example, there's this story, a very popular story, where I think one of the agents, Plan Ghana also did a borehole. Leo, you remember this? Did a borehole for a community. And the people were not using the water. Yeah. Because it was close to them. Why? Because they said that when they send their children, and you may laugh, but that's the truth. That is why when you study development studies, you must do a proper consultation to the people to know what development they want, how the development should be done. Now, when they did the borehole in their community, which is their local vicinity, just from their house to the place, they weren't fetching the water. Because the only time they get to enjoy their husbands and wife and have sex was when the children go to the stream, which is further away, to fetch water. You may sit in Kumasi and think it's strange,
yeah,
but yes, that is how the community operates. So the point I'm making is that because our successive government do not understand what decentralization is. Look at even how we treat district assembly elections. Like the national election. The national, we all know that 7th December every 4 years, we are going to vote. But district assembly, will be born in next week, and 2 weeks, and they keep on postponing. So it comes back to the point I'm making is that the posturing of the entire state.
I agree with you on that, but what I'm also letting you in on is this. Why do we change governments? When one disappoints, you want to have an option, an alternate that would come and do better and improve your lot. So if, let's say, it was there before, and then people were like, let's have a change of government, thinking that a new one will come and do better, why should the same thing continue to happen? That's what my problem is.
David,
and
I can tell you...
having said that, what I'm saying is this: per the laws of this country, you're supposed to disburse that money quarterly. So it's a shall. So there's no excuse whatsoever for any government to come and say that for one reason or the other I was not able to disburse the money.
Exactly. So that's the point I'm making. You see, if I'm to pull the data for you, you'll notice that it has even maybe possibly been worse under another government. That's what I'm saying. That let's take the element of the parties out and look at the government of Ghana. And I'm saying that there's a challenge because we created a certain bureaucratic system that hinders our local development, and that's where the problem is. For example, I do not understand how I live in Oforikrom constituency. I pay street light levies. It has to go to Ministry of Energy. Ministry of Energy has to pay to Consolidated Fund. The money will be disbursed to local government. Local government will also have to liaise to buy bulbs. It's a whole bureaucratic system. Meanwhile, we have a competent MC in place who also have engineers who can identify some of these things. Now, David, for example, why is the Agenda 111 delaying? The key reason why it's delaying is because of what? Land. So you ask yourself, the president in a COVID address says, I'm building 101 hospitals. Leo, follow. 101 hospitals, right? Now ask yourself, what consultation was done at the various 111 locations with the chiefs on the matter of land? It was after we started asking questions that that's when the excuse came that, oh, you aren't getting land. So you ask yourself, you are going to a place, David, when you come to Love FM, that you are coming to partners for any event, the courtesy demands that you go to the branch manager, you speak to Apuzo or Kukuseku, then they will take you to Jimmy Agla. Right? That is how the system is. But the president sat in Accra, assumed that because he's president, He has control of everything and announced. Now, when they went to the ground in Ghana, most of our lands, the alluvial interest in lands, majority of them are for chiefs, right? So the point I'm making is that there must be that deliberate attempt to educate people to know the essence of these things, and for government to appreciate, because there's this thing I always say that, David, one thing we need to get right is assemblyman elections. And there's a creeping thing that is coming in. I don't know if you noticed. Now their posters have taken party. When I was young, I didn't used to see that. Yeah. Now all their party thing, they are mimicking the national elections. Now there are little things. Why was I happy about the Sokoban guy? Akufo-Addo would never know about that road. Young it is assembly member. He's been so what's the word? Ingenious. To at least level that is district assembly.
Ingenious. He's using his own pocket money to buy fuel
together with some partners.
And it's a good initiative. But the point is, what if he doesn't have that money? What if the people refuse to contribute? Well, these people are taxpayers. These are people who are expecting that from the local governance perspective, that the road will be more trouble.
Exactly.
Now, yesterday we were told that something that took 45 minutes, the person said he did it in 4 minutes.
4 minutes, yeah.
So what kind of a system are we running?
Yeah.
And look, shall I put that thing aside and let's work?
And Dave, you see, when you look at even the what you're talking about, another angle of this is that
don't forget your thoughtful. Let me quickly do some quick information to our listeners out there, because I want them to know that Ayesoko Betway's cash out just got way better. Today the Black Queens are playing their Benin counterparts in Accra. So their enhanced early, partial and auto cash out feature lets you cash out your bets early. Cash out a portion of your ongoing bets, or even set your bets to cash out automatically. Now all this will give you way more control over every thrilling bet you place. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Now terms and conditions apply. Is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. It's not for persons under the age of 18. Betway, they say, get way more. Well, take the shoemaker that you see in that community of yours, that beautiful community of yours. Well, he doubles as a shop attendant at the corner store during the day, but when it's in the evening, he plays football with his friends on the park. And just like him, we are all more than one thing. That's why ABSA provides banking solutions for the many sides of you. Now, whatever you need for the different sides of you, ABSA has the products and services that can help you get it all done. Join ABSA to get every kind of banking solution for every kind of you. Visit the nearest ABSA branch or absa.com.gh for more information. Don't slow down at all. Do this and you'll be glad you did. Listen, I'm a car owner, and there's only one sound that I fall in love with each and every time I turn on my ignition. It is the sound of a healthy engine. And that's why Shell Fuels with Dynaflex technology is designed to keep your car engine clean and protected for efficient running and a healthy engine that sounds music to your ears. From the timeless classics to the sleek new models, and of course from the heavy-duty trucks to the nimble compacts, one thing's for sure, every car loves Shell. Why? Well, it's because whether you are cruising on the open road or battling with busy city streets, Shell Fuels will keep your engine running smoothly. So, visit your favorite Shell station today and get Shell Fuels, because every car loves Shell Fuels for better journeys. Once again, if asked why Shell Fuels, well, it's simple, because every car loves Shell. Let's say hooray to SG Ghana as they are celebrating 20 years here in this beautiful country. Societe Generale, your secure and trusted partner, is 20 years old in Ghana. Now, this significant milestone wouldn't have been possible without you, their loyal customer. So, this anniversary is dedicated to you. It has been a journey of triumphs, successes, and innovative financial solutions crafted to give you, your family, and business the best outcomes always. Now, our partnership with you has seen you and your families grow, your businesses and institutions succeed, and many dreams come true. I'm a proud member of the SG family. Be a member too. Today, as they celebrate 20 years with you, I'm sure that you're happy. SG Ghana, the future is you. So, Eugene, I'll be coming back to you shortly because we need to go to our next conversation as well. Fido's highest loan is now an impressive 4,000 Ghana cedis. Now, starting small is the key to big things. Begin with a loan of 200 Ghana cedis and pay on time. And when you do that, you could see your loan limit grow to 4,000 Ghana cedis. How about that? So tell Paddy, get money, spread the word. Now, when you refer friends to Fido and they take a loan, you, the person who did the referencing, you get 15 Ghana cedis. And when your Paddy gets to pay the loan, he or she would also enjoy some 10%, 10 Ghana cedis as well. is a winning combo. Getting the Fido app is as easy as picking up your phone right now and just dialing *998 *9 hash to apply Fido on App Store or the Play Store. Apply today. Shine your eyes. Remember to watch out for tricksters pretending to be Fido, because Fido will never ask you to pay money before you get a loan. Have that at the back of your mind. So let me give you a minute to land on the other bit, and then we'll talk more about that survey or report from the Ghana Statistical Service that says that 1.5 homes do not have residing water sources.
Yes.
And then
5 million.
1.4.
It's 1.4.
Yeah.
It's 1.5 homes.
That's 1.5. Okay, fine. 1.4 million people living in homes do not have water source there. And then almost 500,000 people practice open defecation. Yet in 2016, we know the promises that our now Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who wants to lead the MPP, is saying. What he said at the time. Now,
David, there's a difference between the MPs' share of the common. The MPs have a share. That's why it's called MPs' share of a common fund.
Yeah.
And there's also what goes to the assembly itself.
The municipalities and all that.
Yeah, there are two things. There are two separate things. Now, David, what I'm saying is that when the assembly is starved of the common fund, what that means is that I'm taking Ofurikrom as a classic example. The Ofurikrom Health Directorate, it falls under which? The assembly. They cannot do promotions. NADMO cannot work. The people we call town council, what's their correct name? It's a tankers for it's town council. Those people also have
I've forgotten the English name for them.
Yes, they can also not work. Right? So we are starving almost every single the district education unit and every they all have a certain.
Let me just read it. Let me read it verbatim. I mean, so MMDCs, have been given the permission to spend their portion of the district assembly common fund in the following areas. I'm just going to read verbatim. Commercial ventures, into bracket, for example, energy, markets, agriculture, services and roads. B, social services, example, education, health, water, sports, recreation, self-help projects, educational activities, and so on. When it comes to 2, for administration purposes, it says development of DA staff and assembly members capacity, housing, office equipment, and so on. The 3 is where I have an interest there. Environmental considerations such as sanitation, disaster management, and yet we sit down and we say for only one quarter we've given them the common fund.
Now, David, when you read, you see that's a portion. So that's what I'm saying, that the common fund comes in 2 folds. There's the assembly portion and there's the MPs portion.
But number 4, read the number 4. The
number 4 says that members of parliament's common fund.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So it is there, categorical.
Now, David, all the things you mentioned.
Oh, Charlie.
How can they are not magic. That's why I mean sometimes I like for them to come to Musuru. Because
obviously okofri force in your man.
Yesterday I was shocked. You go second hand.
Okofri.
And David, this is Ofurikrom. So you can imagine what is going on at Sechere. You can imagine what is going on at Bosumi from Kwame Danso's place, Mewu, aka Mewu. His area.
Yes, absolutely. My answer comes when I say
David, you can imagine what is going on in Amansia Central South.
Oh Jesus.
Jacobu, where we took the pass, you can imagine what is going on there. And this has a certain bearing on even teenage pregnancy.
Assemblyman was arrested, 72-year-old,
for selling
fake meters.
Can you imagine? No, David, you see, we too have a problem with that. How do you elect a 72-year-old as assemblyman? How?
But don't we elect a people to be president?
No, David, there's 2 different things.
What's the difference?
Local government.
Oh, Braja.
Where we need energetic people.
Presidency, we don't need energetic.
No, David, they fly.
What?
They fly about. They have like. Oh, no, I disagree. 72-year-old.
I also disagree with you.
Yes, but I disagree with you more.
Maybe he was 70 when
he was 60 something.
There's this
68 years.
There's this CPP youth organizer, one of the areas. He's nearly 60, sorry, and was asked, but you are nearing 60. Why is he forgotten? So he gathers the youth, but he himself is not a youth.
But again, so when we were speaking to the MC yesterday, he said there's been what? 4 fires with 1 flood.
And no relief.
No relief to anybody. 4 fires, 1 flood. And yet we say we are running local governance. Listen, let's talk about the other leg of the conversation and then activate the phone lines. But you can send in your thoughts. I mean, based on what we're saying so far. I don't know where you live. I don't know which of the municipalities you fall under. But are you seeing development there? Don't blame your MCU. She any coffee. So send us, WhatsApp messages to 055 11 She any coffee. They're going to borrow for second-hand stuff to come and give you.
Now, yesterday I received a lot of calls about the Care University thing, and some parents they're even alarmed. They're asking whether the school itself they didn't have
as a university. That's
as a fire tender.
Yeah.
I decided to do my checks and no, Care University relies on the fire service fire tender, which has broken down for a year. David, I want to appeal to the management of Care University. This institution has money. They must do some fundraising, and the university itself must get a fire tender. David, there are some things we shouldn't wait for disaster to strike. I have lived in Kunti before. I was on the 5th floor, Pentagon. David, if something should happen, people will die. If something should happen at
don't you think that would be a nice avenue for them to even have joint programs with the fire service in
not
terms
even
of
a
training?
joint.
I mean, after they get the fire tender to do.
Yes, they have officers there, so just get them the car.
Hospital. You have a KNS ambulance. It would be just
nice to have.
A fire tender. You have a security. You have a security that is well coordinated, vehicles and all that.
No, it didn't even break. So when the lady called, when I was with you, then I explained.
I remember. Yeah.
So when and she was like, so KNS, because she was alarmed because David, unless you've not lived in, I lived in Kunti for a year, the Twin Towers. Actually, the biggest mail hall in the entire West Africa. The most prestigious
our next
architecture
conversation,
on
conversation has to do
now, David,
with the fact that Ghana Statistical Service report says 1.4 million Ghanaians 1.4 million Ghanaians are living in homes where they don't have water on the premises. They have to travel 30 minutes to get water. And it's common to see people carrying Kofor gallons.
Yeah.
They put it at the boot of their vehicle because baby water in zone. So when they go to work or they get to a friend's house, then they fetch water, put it in the car boot. When they get home, then they use it for their needs. 1.4
urban. That's where it's a bit shocking. So urban, we are talking about let's say the system is not. I don't think Goso is urban. Goso may be peri-urban. I don't know anybody if who is a geography Kate. I don't know if you know, but they should correct me. I don't think. Yeah, Goso is peri. Goso can never be urban when you look at the characters of urban. So we are talking about Accra.
Kate did planning, right? She can come and
no geography.
Okay.
So Accra, Kumasi, Tamale is urban. Takrade is urban. Sunyane is urban. Koforidia urban. The 16 regions, I think, because Techiman will not be urban. Techiman will be peri-urban. David,
they don't have water.
1.4 million.
And
that's a lot.
And almost 500,000.
Without toilet facilities.
Almost 500,000 are doing open defecation.
That is where, David, I think that, and I agree with Leo that there need to be some enforcement. How can anybody build without toilet facilities? I mean, there are certain basic human dignities.
Kitchen can convert into single rooms.
David, you see, beyond you being enforced or being told to do the right thing, how can you as a human being do architecture with your masons and I arrive at the conclusion that I'm building something, a store or whatever, I won't do toilet facility? How is that? How should that even come to your mind? Because David, do you know the consequences of this? Typhoid, cholera. You see, I always say that Ghana's issue, it's not in isolation. No. They all connect to a certain dot, and before you realize, then
it's a huge problem.
It's a huge issue. How have we allowed people successively to build over time where they don't have pipes in their homes? Now, they be talking about pipes too. Let me come to Ghana Water. Some of them, and yesterday I showed you a big man in this country saying that he's now understand people do illegal connection. He went to Kabenya ECG. Common Tino, Cobra. So the person when he gets he will do illegal connection. Sometimes the state institution, David, how they even do services. How can Tinkoni ECG treat me? How will I go there and buy prepaid again? I won't go. You know, they are supposed to deliver quality customers, but they don't do that. So people are forced to sometimes also do some of these things, right? So in as much as we are calling on landlords to do the right thing, the agencies of state must also make sure that at least when an issue comes, David, how responsive is ECG today if something happens to you? How responsive is Ghana Water today? 03220 83596 03220 83597
03-220-83598. You can call us now. All the issues we talked about. 1.4 people living in households without water source. 500,000 and people doing opidification. And then the District Assembly Common Fund has delayed for 7 months. How can the MCs run?
Do you know the places I'm picturing of this? Asafo, Amakum, Ashtown, Bantama.
Ashtown, a lot of the houses there don't have toilet facilities. Majority of them.
Now I'm saying I'm converting most of the stuff is not converted to single rooms.
Single rooms.
But before the toilet facilities, when assemblies were working and
some of these houses
and they were enforcing bylaws, their toilet facilities.
Before they were using the pan latrines where they have a place you do it in the bucket. Somebody can. Most of them they've closed it down. They've either used it as a storeroom or converted it into some room.
Well, you can call us. I mean, I don't know how you feel about the common fund not going. I don't know how you feel about opidification and stuff like that. It's your show. 03-220-835-968359783598. You can also call us. Chris is on the line. Hi, Chris. Good morning.
Yeah, Christoph, Adult Education Institute. David, I hope you are fine.
I am well, Christoph.
Good show. David, I want you to take time to talk about ECG. In fact, what is happening there? For 3 years, people want to get meters at the various residential areas. They are shops, but they don't get. So, Dave, if you are in their shoes, what will you have done? Maybe you will go for shelf meter or something, and then they will come and say, "Why did you come PCD for a genuine meter?" And then they'll come and tell you nonsense. David, I beg you, look, even those who are close to the Wabi Dam, Barakese, Adam Kwame, Sophia Brepo, their taps will be closed for months. David, in those areas, the light is like disco light. People's gadgets are getting spoiled. David, what is happening? It's as if you don't have a leader in Ghana anymore. It's as if there's nobody who even listens to people's plight and problems. It's as if everything is in disarray. It's as if everything has fallen apart. The center cannot be whole. Maybe if these things are going on, why even houses? They don't have toilets and all that. How will you build stores where you go and sit there from morning to evening without you putting or inserting a washroom in there? What kind of thinking is that?
I hear that's the kind of country we live in, huh? Christoph, thanks for calling us. Erasmus, good morning. Welcome, sir. Hello, Erasmus.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Dave.
Erasmus, your line is very clear. Let's hear you.
Hello, Uncle Dave. Good morning.
Good morning, Erasmus.
Yeah, Uncle Dave, you see, it's very unfortunate the way we are running this country. Sometimes I sit back and tell myself there is no future for the youth. Look at our road from Amena to Kote. Look at our road from Amena to Ajasi New Side. Everything is becoming worse off. Yet we are asked to pay tax. David, you mark this, what I'm saying today. A time will come, people will not pay tax because if you pay your tax to a government, that he should render a certain services to you, he takes the money and he doesn't do what you are requesting for. Somehow, some way, the person is stealing from you. And once people become fed up, people will refuse to pay taxes anymore. What has Ghanaians done to politicians? After paying so much tax to these leaders, those who call themselves leaders, they only come up with that accolade, but they don't work according to what they claim. I mean, what have we done? You pay health insurance, you go to the hospital, they tell you the system is not working, and for that matter, if you can't pay, go and die. And today,
thanks very much. Sahini, good morning. Hello, Sahini.
Yeah, David.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I hope all is well.
I am well. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, David, I think when it comes to this toilet problem that we are facing, I won't entirely put the blame on the government. I will say we don't have or we don't elect innovative assembly members to solve our communal problems. Why am I saying this? with this Gamma project that they have started, that is 1,200 toilet facilities that they are, the World Bank is collaborating with the government of Ghana to do. It is just 1,200. So imagine if we have an innovative leader or an assembly member who is so innovative, who doesn't think that it is only the responsibility of the assembly member to lobby from the district assembly, but who thinks outside the box and also sees that if an assembly member collaborates with a lot of NGOs, they can help develop or construct some of these toilet facilities for them. I've done some, and I think if we have some assembly members can't even write proposal, but they vote for them. Some assembly members are just political stooges. They just go in, be a stool to the MP or the DCE for the meager that the MC will give to them. So if we are able to have assembly members who are so innovative enough, who don't rely on an MP or a DC or assembly an MC, all this problem will minimize a bit until the government comes in. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sahine. But again, I ask myself, what is the essence of putting together data or having some statistics done? It should help you in your planning. So if you get to know, for example, that 1.4 million people living in households without toilet facilities or water, what are you doing with that statistics?
David, 3 seconds. So what happened to the National Development Planning Commission?
No idea. Kofi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Dave. Since 1992 to date, there is no political party in Ghana here that pays statutory payment. It is only the government of the day that makes statutory payments such as common fund. And if the government of the day is not paying the statutory payments such as the common fund, you can't say that let's take parties aside, NDC, MPP aside, and talk of successive government. Successive government from where? Why are we so hypocrite? Why can't we boldly speak the truth to the authorities? And we always want to play ostrich. Common fund has delayed, and it has delayed under Akufo-Addo's government. Why don't we speak boldly to the government that you have delayed the common fund, and so development is not going on in any district? Why can't we say that to him? And we say the John Mahama's government, the successful John Mahama's government was delaying so it's not peculiar to Akufo-Addo's government. What a hypocrisy!
Kofi, thank you very much, Kofi. Let's speak to another Kofi. This time around, Kofi Mensah. Good morning, Kofi Mensah.
David, Jami Beshra, Nema, Beshra, topical issues already. David, they are telling us in Ghana now, the rich enjoy everything. Traffic grabbing 20 years, they enjoy everything. So maybe I get a block. Because has become a big place. But I can tell you, apart from that road, Junior Road, the Denimono, the big journey you have any Amram down. Ebuka is going to be a big community. And you ask yourself, so what do they do for the country? What do? They'll go and lay over at Bantima 1 or 2, lay over at it. And perpetually people who have come out, so their own houses far away from the city, will remain like that until a parliamentarian or a government official come out from that place and just use the power he or she wants and create something. It's a sad story for the country. Very, very sad. Thank you, David. Continue. God bless you.
Well, bless you too, sir. And let's go on to our WhatsApp console. We've got some messages to share. Liu Stanley.
Oh, yeah.
Your call has been put.
Dave, good morning. This is Nanaya. Dave, I've just sent you a photo. If you look at it very carefully, you see a Ghana National Service fire tender. And you know the guy up there, do you know what he's doing? He's welding the top of the tender. So Dave, imagine if there's a fire outbreak and Ghana National Service is called. Look at it. How can this fire tender move to wherever the fire is and then quench the fire? This is never possible. And I don't know, when there's a disaster, people calling, you see people calling national, what do we call it, NADMO. But I mean, you see, I always say that even NADMO themselves, they need help even more than the victims of any disaster. They need help more than them. So I wonder whether we really have leaders in this country. You see, so why don't they resource this organization so that when there's any disaster, they can quickly move in and avert the situation?
All right, so Leo Stanley, you saw the picture he's talking about. Describe it to me.
Okay, so it's a fire truck in the yard, and from the picture,
Ghana National Fire
Service truck. Yeah, the
Tender.
Ghana National Fire Service.
Tender.
Yeah. So the big red truck, and it looks like it's the only truck in the yard when you look at it from the picture. And there is some guys sitting on top of the head, doing some work.
Welding.
Yeah, I don't know if it's welding, but from you could see that somebody's on top.
Extension for ladder. Who sanctioned that work to be done?
And David, we're talking about ladder yesterday too. It came to the fore that I know the long ladders they can use to climb the whole region is one.
It's one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
the whole region. Actually, no say won't see actually na ejato baby a fire said for timi gina so do for a dan no.
Yeah.
Kije kejiti na ma na so mo ba na ebi ni won. Eye ba ko.
Gabriel, good morning.
Region kakraka we nyina.
Hi, Gabriel. Gabi, good morning.
My brother, please, how are you doing?
Well, Gabriel, good to have you, sir. Let's hear you, boss.
We thank God. I'm calling you from Swami. Unfortunately, I'm on my way to offensive, so I'm on a bus. But I want to just also put this one forward for listeners. Honestly, anything happening in this country had to do with leadership failure. So I'm a bit surprised one of the callers was trying to blame the assembly members to be innovative and what have you. How many NGOs do we have in Ghana? And what is their financial base for them to sponsor a particular community to construct a road? So we should rather put the blame at the doorstep of those who are holding our purse, not the poor assembly member who is not paid at the end of the month. So we need to be truthful in this country rather than to be blaming these poor assembly members who are not paid. I am saying you go to Ethiopia this morning and see the traffic there. And at the end of the day, someone will sit somewhere and be blaming the assembly member. Please, let us tell the MMDCs, the MPs, and the ministers, they are those managing our resources. We can't blame any assembly member for the failure of our leadership to do what is expected of them. On that note, I would also want to congratulate Erasmus for winning the 2023 Best Journalist Award. You guys are really helping Ghana. May God bless you guys.
Well, thank you very much, Gabriel. Let's go back onto our WhatsApp console.
David, good morning. This is Isaac. Eugene has said all. David, the best thing that can ever happen to Ghanaians is if we are able to implement fiscal decentralization. That is the only solution to this issue. We've given a president with huge powers sitting there doing what he or she pleases. David, it's never going to happen. This common fund issue, there's never going to be any solution till the decentralization is implemented well. This decentralization we are having is just a decongestion. I call it decongestion, not fiscal decentralization. It's decongestion, form of decentralization. You see, we want the devolution type, whereby the people at the local level elect their MC and DCs.
Well, time will not allow us to, play anymore. But I think that we have said our bit. We pray that those in authority would listen, because we introduced decentralization for a purpose. And if it's not functioning, if it's not being adhered to, how do we get the kind of development in our local, areas or communities? Let's do the right thing to save this country and help us all. Because if we're living in a region where we have only 23 or 24 functional fire tenders, with only one, I said yesterday he said 23, and then we have only one with a long ladder in this whole region. Oh, Charlie. I live in an area where, like I keep saying, it's a new site. the roads are bad. They be a meka se kasaka. Well, I pay my taxes. I pay my property. Yeah, say junior commander so number.
So David,
remember, Eugene, say junior commander. Ultimate commander.
David, you have no option. You see, there are certain issues where you have no option.
Imagine getting rewarded for doing something you already do every single day. Well, I'm sure it sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's exactly what Momo Seizing is all about. There's something for everyone. Download the Momo app on Play Store or App Store and use Momo Pay for your day-to-day transactions to a merchant either through the QR code or the merchant ID and stand a chance of winning 1,000 Ghana cedis weekly and other amazing prizes. Now, our merchants are also not left out of the reward because they receive payments and win. Keep using your Momo Pay on the Momo app and get rewarded. Now, there are lots and lots of exciting prizes for everyone. So, what are you doing today? Transact more with Momo Pay and more profits and more points and win big this Momo season. You can visit momomerchantapplication.mtn.com.gh and of course for your Momo for business account today. Just do that and get your Momo for business account today. It's Momo season, so just Momo it with Momo Pay. But don't forget that T's and C's apply. Meanwhile, Anointed Electrical Engineering Services Limited is into sales of ultra silent generators from 5 kVA to 2,500 kVA, and they also undertake maintenance and repairs of all kinds of diesel engine generators. Now, they also stock genuine spare parts of all kinds for various generators and also do generator rentals. You can find them at TAT Yard off the Mayanka Road here at Asokwa. In Accra, their head office is at number 77 Anointed House off the Odoko Malam Road. Call them on 0243-480-334 or 0544-340-589. Now, what is your preferred color of tank? Well, Syntex has it. What guarantee do you want? Syntex has it. What kind of inner layer do you want? We're talking about double, triple, quadruple. Well, as many inner layers as you want, Syntex has that one too. So remember, no matter your water needs, Syntex has it. Now, Syntex tank, are strong, are tough. They have over 300 agents nationwide. And to order a tank, you need to call 0244-335-168. Also, you can visit Syntex on social media at Syntex Ghana or shop online on www.syntexgh.com. Syntex tank, are strong, are tough. Well, I want you to wake up to a new taste of Bigo Cola. Nothing comes close to Bigo Cola, a drink of joy, both cold and sweet. Bigo Drink is a range of soft drinks developed, bottled, and distributed in Ghana by Trillium Industrial Ghana. Bigo Cola drink offers a great taste and superior value to its customers. For your parties, your weddings, funerals, and all occasions, reach out for Bigo Drinks. For the school child, listen, I bet you that is the drink of choice. So anytime you want a drink to quench your thirst, reach out for Bigo Cola and feel the taste of nature. And for bulk purchase, please call 03-221-90877. It's a quality product from Trillium Industries. Are you looking for an opportunity to study abroad? Are you facing challenges in your applications for international admissions, well, visa and general travel? Astrolinks International provides advisory on overseas education, general travel, and immigration issues. Now, they have specialized in countries such as Australia, UK, USA, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, and many more. They also offer professional advice on general travel and tour. Locate Astrolinks International at 4A Popo Street, East Legon, adjacent Melcombe in Accra, and at the Basement City, that's the Kumasi City Mall, and at the Liberation Road, Takrady. You can call them on 0550-199-991. Visit their website www.astrolinks.net. Christmas is here with us again. Families will make merry amidst feasting, eating actually, and drinking. This can't be the same for children who have no source of livelihood. These kids were born like you and I, but because of an unlikely situation, they go through a lot of difficulty. This is the reason why your number one account radio station, Inshira 104.5 FM, and your superstation, Love 99.5, has come to your doorsteps once again to solicit for funds to put a smile on the faces of these orphans. You can locate us at Top High Kumasi off the Accra Road for further enquiries and for donations. Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and He will reward them for what they have done. That's in Proverbs 19:17. So this Yuletide, come show some love to a deprived child. We'll be crossing over to Joy 99.7, where a rep from the Ghana Water Company Limited is going to be on to talk about the pollution of our water bodies and how it's impacting on treatment of water. We'll be right back.
Uyam ayekro anase emu kekao uhia amuzuke uyam tutu anase emu samfono uhia amuzuke wayase ya oya anase uwa fichikro mu haw uhia amuzuke heba mixture ebi wo heba shop bia mu frɛ 0247 776743.
I wake up in the morning, it's a new day, and I got bills that I have to pay. Now you're running late, running out of time. Feels like the world is waiting in line. All you gotta do is pick up the phone and just dial.
So whatever you do, whoever you are, there is an easy way for everyone. The simple life is just one touch away. Experience the magic starting today.
And it all begins with
See, I don't need to write or cash a check. I don't need data or internet. I have something that's faster than a jet. Just like
what are you talking about? You could be a palm wine topper, a teacher, a rapper, a schoolboy, a school girl, or a trader, a bank MD, a chairman, or a baker.
Guaranteed Trust Bank. Wouldn't you rather bank with us?
Bra na minya Royal Foam mattress no. O how bebre na me komu. Medam panosweni na atom. Na mechi kase so na me honam nyina ya meya. Na de akume kra ne se. Ya no nso beda aso ape. Na wagya me. Na minya Royal Foam mattress no. Pa kwesi da aso ape. E na oya me ho ade. Congratulations dear, me fa no kwa. Asedan koma Royal Foam. Quality mattress papa fi. Oji aware Royal Foam. Wa manane relaxation ayede. Anwoto so a wunya wo mu ne se. Royal Foam mattress eye papa. Eche ye, eye kilted mattress inti. Woda so a ama wona ye foam. Se woto mattress free Royal Foam a. Teche wo free pillows. Royal Foam aje abasobode e wo 12 Ghana Business and Financial Excellence Awards no mu. Yet on quality duvets, curtains, beds, ne carpentry foams ahodo nyina bi. Hwehwe yen wo Royal Foam showrooms, any sales depots a wo Ghana fanan nyina. Fre 020-227-1000. Royal Foam, rest assured.
Ajua, the online page for the new business account was in shambles yesterday. We lost the page.
Tell me about it.
We started off very confident, and then the office broadband went down. When we set up the hotspot from the phone to reconnect, the data allocation also got finished.
You are joking.
I wish. The meeting room was hot. Kobe quickly tried calling them to give us some more time, but he had no airtime. Total chaos. They also gave us feedback that our website didn't have enough information. How can you run a business this way and hope to grow?
Oh dear.
Your business communication can be way better than this. Vodafone One Business is a complete communications package that gives you broadband with data transfer to mobile phones, mobile package with free calls among employees, landline with free calls and website design plus domain name registration. At Vodafone Business, we understand that strong connections within your business lead to success. Call 050-777-9000 or sign up by sending an email to sme@vodafone.com. Vodafone, further together.
1xBet. Big bonuses, big odds, big wins. Download 1xBet app, make a deposit, and you get 300% bonus on up to 3,445 Ghana cedis. The biggest bonus ever. 1xBet is a reliable bookmaker. So head up to 1xBet.com.gh. Register with promo code WELCOMEGHANA and get a huge welcome bonus on your first deposit right now. Have a chance to win. 1xBet gives you more. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
Onia, Brunya Idia, Maninya Strong Comau.
Anio, I feel Republic Bank mouse surprises baby.
And you want, Opesa Sawa sitting money a crabeshe.
And now switch a wow, come, you so chrome.
And I'll bet you go shop with your home.
Anio,
and yet, Coco Jib Republic Bank Christmas loan, not chance you won't get ticket.
Personal loans, secured 300,000 Ghana cedis. Car loan, any SME loans to a home.
Republic Bank Bisia, Cobra Bien home, is the honest daffo.
Ultra low. I feel my Republic Bank Emma Brunya anye krabehye.
Call www.republicghana.com and I am krabate bia mu ni etwa wontum. Republic Bank, where the